Welcome back. My name is Drea, and if you watched my previous video, you know that I've lost over 100 pounds. Today we're going to be talking about how I lost over 100 pounds in just 1 year, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you guys like it. Remember to subscribe, and here are my socials if you don't follow me. So let's get started. I started my weight loss journey in 2018. I decided that that was going to be my New Year's goal, was to lose some weight. I had no goal in mind specifically of how much weight I wanted to lose. I just knew I wanted to lose weight. I was 246 pounds at the time, 17 years old, and I just had a lot of health risks beforehand. These health risks include being pre-diabetic. I had a lot of the symptoms, I had a lot of signs, so these were a couple of the things that I was experiencing, especially the dark ring around my neck. This isn't the case for everyone. Make sure you're talking to your doctor, like I said, but my doctor specifically told me that this is what I was dealing with, so that was a factor into why I wanted to start this weight loss journey. And also, like I said, being overweight my whole life, it just had a very bad effect on my mental health. I think people don't realize that growing up overweight and being at that state for a long time, it almost feels impossible at some point, and it almost feels like you will never lose weight. That's how I was feeling specifically. And I also dealt with a lot of binge eating problems, and that's like a whole nother story for another time, but I was dealing with binge eating as well before I started my weight loss journey. So let's kind of get into the whole how it actually started. In December 2017, I was just feeling really low about myself, and I just wasn't loving the way I looked because I knew I got there from binge eating. It wasn't because I was just happy eating or any of this stuff. I specifically got to my weight because of binge eating and eating my feelings. It was a terrible coping mechanism that I had ended up picking up, and I just knew I wanted to overcome this. And even if I didn't lose that much weight, I just wanted to know that I could do something for my health. So I was doing a lot of research in November of 2017 and December 2017, and I had been watching a lot of YouTubers because I knew that fad diets couldn't be an option for me. I couldn't do keto. Intermittent fasting wasn't something that was gonna work for me. All those little quick, easy fix ways that they say they are to lose weight, I just always failed at them. I felt like once I did them, I would lose maybe a little bit of weight and then gain it back right away because it was never sustainable and it didn't feel like something I could do my entire life. So after doing all this research and going through YouTube, I decided that I was going to try a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is how I lost the majority of my weight, and if you're wondering what a calorie deficit is, here's an explanation, and I will do a little brief of what I did for my calorie deficit. I need you guys to know that it is different for everyone. Please make sure you are calculating it to your body, your height, all of that stuff. A lot of factors go into your calorie deficit, so I just want you to know that. Some days, I get this question a lot too, so I just want to answer this in one. I would eat maybe 100 to 200 more calories than that if there were days where I worked out more or something like that. Even when you are working out, you're still kind of putting yourself more into a calorie deficit because you are burning calories. So I would fill myself up a little bit more, especially if I was working out a lot. I was doing a calorie deficit. That was the way I was going to go for my New Year's goal. Once it was January 1st, I was feeling very committed. I had gotten a gym membership the week before, and I was kind of going in pretty clueless. I know a lot of people feel like this. It is scary going into a gym, especially if you aren't that confident in your body, and that's how I was feeling at the time. So I got my gym membership and I started going to the gym. Every single time I would go to the gym, I started to gain more confidence because I started to learn all the equipment there. I started to learn what I liked versus what I didn't like. And something I learned pretty quickly is I wasn't a huge fan of spending the whole time doing weightlifting. And I know that's pretty big right now. A lot of people love weightlifting, but personally for me, that was something that I didn't enjoy too much. My next question I get a lot for my weight loss is how many calories, what were you doing, what was your gym routine like? So here's a little rundown of that. I was eating around this many calories, and how many days I was working out. I was working out around 4 to 5 days, and what I was doing for my workout routine is, since I didn't love weightlifting, I decided I would only do around 15 to 30 minutes of weightlifting because I wanted to make sure I was still getting in the strength training and all of that, because it's still really good for you. But then I would do around 30 to 40 minutes of cardio. But a lot of people think that like the only thing you can do to lose weight is to run, but really at the beginning of my weight loss journey, I couldn't run because my knees were very strained just from all the weight I was carrying. So I started to walk, and I walked on an incline of 12, a speed of 3, and I would do that for around 30 to 45 minutes. That was something that I loved doing. I felt a burn, I was burning calories, and I really enjoyed the workout because I could watch movies, I could watch a show, listen to a podcast. It was something that I really enjoyed at the gym, and that's something you want to find during your weight loss journey, is a workout you enjoy. So after that, I started to enjoy the Stairmaster. I started to enjoy the Stairmaster. The Stairmaster was something I ended up getting really good at during the first 2 months of my weight loss journey, and the time just kept going up. So that's kind of what the first 6 months of my weight loss journey looked like. A lot of people ask me about calorie deficits and what you're supposed to not eat. It all depends on your calorie intake and how you want to spread those calories out throughout the day. I share a lot about things that I ate during my weight loss journey on my TikTok, so I'll insert a little clip right here of kind of what that looks like. Doing a calorie deficit was something that I found sustainable for me, because after 6 months of doing the same thing, I realized that I was able to get a habit in, and the way I was tracking my calories was through MyFitnessPal. Disclaimer: I get a lot of comments and I see a lot of videos about MyFitnessPal. I find that a lot of people during their weight loss journey can abuse this. That's kind of where it goes wrong. Finding a calorie deficit number that is sustainable for you is the way you are going to successfully lose weight consistently and keep it off and maintain. I used MyFitnessPal during the whole year that I lost that weight, and every month I was losing around 10 pounds, 8 pounds. I do know that once you are bigger or at a heavier weight, in the beginning it is a lot easier to lose that weight faster. So I did notice those big numbers in the beginning of my weight loss. During the end of my weight loss, I did realize that those numbers start to shorten up a little bit because you have less fat to lose. Around 4 to 6 months into my weight loss journey, I decided to pick up long distance running. After doing the Stairmaster and my treadmill routine, I realized that I wanted to do something else, because being in the gym for too long kind of made me start to lose that habit of wanting to go to the gym. So I knew I needed to put myself in a different place for working out. That is something that I think helps a lot. A tip for plateaus is changing up your workouts, changing up the foods you're eating, just kind of switching up the routine, because it kind of tricks your body into thinking you're kind of doing something else. At least that's what I think, and that's what helped me. But I decided to change up my workout routine, which was running, and I was still running around 4 to 5 days a week, and I became a long distance runner in my weight loss journey. My running time went from a 16-minute mile time to an 8-minute mile time. People may not think that's fast, 8 minutes, but from coming to 16 minutes to 8 minutes, it was a big jump for me, and it was something that felt very special to me. So I became a long distance runner around the 4 to 6 month mark of my weight loss journey, and that's the workout I ended up sticking with until the end of my weight loss journey. Running was just something that I was very passionate about, so it worked for me. A lot of people always ask me why I think the calorie deficit helped for me. So calorie deficit, I find, is very inclusive of all food groups, and fad diets tend to have a lot of sections where you can't have certain like foods. You can't have carbs, you can't have this, you can't have that. So I found that those type of diets that excluded a food group or a nutrition or something like that, I just found those did not work out for me. So doing a calorie deficit where I could include everything that I love and still make sure that I am eating nutritious, healthy foods throughout the day, but also still enjoying those little treats here and there, you know? It fit in my calorie deficit, I made it work, and that's what felt sustainable for me. Something that helped me out tremendously was that I was getting weighed every month by my doctor. This really helped me keep on track, and I found that weighing myself by myself was a little too triggering for me. And with getting weighed once a month, I always knew that, hey, I don't have to worry about how much I weigh this week because I'm going to get weighed at the beginning of every single month. This feels a lot more healthier for me, and it doesn't feel addictive, and it feels natural. So that's what I was doing. I was getting weighed once a month, and I honestly recommend taking one picture once a month, or if you want to take more, you can, but I decided to take one picture every month and get myself weighed every month. So I will kind of show you what that picture looked like of me taking my progress photos. I am so grateful that I took these progress photos, but I do wish I had more. Finding the calorie deficit kind of felt like hitting the jackpot for me, because calorie deficit is literally what kept me on track that whole year. And that year I ended up losing 107 pounds. So I went from 246 pounds to whatever that was, 140 or whatever, and I'm still at that weight now, and I'm maintaining that weight now. A lot of people ask, how do I keep maintaining that weight? And I use the same thing as I tracked my calories with during my weight loss journey. It was a very interesting transition. A lot of people think that when you maintain, you have to keep your calories super low, and that is not true. I did bring up my calories when I was maintaining, and I did not gain weight or anything. I do still fluctuate to 5 pounds still, and I think that's normal. Fluctuation is super normal, especially in women too, when we have our periods and stuff like that. It's just so easy to get your head wrapped around like how much you weigh, and especially if you're weighing yourself every single day. And people don't realize that like you could have ate something the day before and been like 5 pounds later, and the next day you weigh yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I gained 5 pounds overnight. You cannot gain 5 pounds of actual fat overnight. I gave myself a lot of grace that year of my weight loss journey, and I'm super proud that I stuck to my calorie deficit. So sticking to your calorie deficit, there's a bunch of ways to kind of keep yourself in check and motivated, and these are some of the things that I did to keep myself motivated and just keep me on track. Doing a calorie deficit, like I said, may not be the easiest answer for everyone. It is hard to get into a different mindset, especially like me. My whole life I was overweight, like I said, and kind of changing that up was difficult at first, but once I got into the routine, it really helped me stick to that. As of now, it is 2022, and I lost all that weight from 2018 to 2019, and I have maintained all that weight loss since. Since then, I also have got my loose skin removed, and if you haven't seen my first video, you guys can go check that out right now. That is questions about my loose skin removal, and we are doing a part 2 on that. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys the backstory and how I did my weight loss and how it kind of went, and not give you the super long, hard detail explanation of how I lost 100 pounds, because really I do find my weight loss story to be pretty simple of how I lost all my weight and what I did to lose all that weight. And especially with maintaining now, I no longer have to use all those apps to kind of keep me in track, because after a while I ended up knowing like my intuitive like food cues, and just knowing how much I should eat every day and how much of different nutrition and other groups I should include in my day-to-day life. But like I said, this is kind of just a quick explanation to get to know how I lost 100 pounds, why I wanted to lose weight, and how I did it. I don't ever want to make it more difficult than it needs to be. I know you guys probably wanted a huge like hack and stuff, how I lost over 100 pounds, but really this is all the stuff that I did, and it did take a lot of therapy and also finding the right people in my life who supported me to get through this. I do think my weight loss specifically was pretty simple once I got the hang of things and finally found something that worked for me, but I do think there were outside factors that also kind of affected my mental health, especially comparing myself to others and comparing my loose skin to others. A lot of people ask me how to avoid getting loose skin, but the real answer is that we're all made differently. Genetically, we all have different ways of how our skin stretches, how our skin looks. So it's going to be different for everyone. No one's loose skin is going to look the same, and we're all going to have different body types and different shapes and stuff. So I just want to let you guys know that's not something you need to be afraid of, and the thing that you want to focus on mostly is just getting your health back to check. Not what you look like, none of that, just having your health back in check. And that's something that's going to feel really good, knowing that you're going to have a long, healthy life because you're on the right track and you're making sure you're eating these foods that are helping you throughout your daily life. I feel like that was a lot, but I bet I'm going to edit this and be like, that wasn't a lot. You didn't explain a lot. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to give a quick explanation. I love you guys so much, and I love making videos for you guys, especially in long format. I feel like I can be more personal with you guys, and that's really special. Make sure to give this a thumbs up, subscribe, here are my socials. I don't know which side I'm going to put them on, so whatever side I decide. But you guys can go follow me on there. Sure, if you guys see this video, to let me know if you liked it or not and what I could do better. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys maybe next week, whatever. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye.